Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the program. You are watching the voice of the Northwest Suburbs, Andrew Richter, the television show, episode number 133. 3.5 years. They haven't kicked me off yet. Yes, I'm still here, coming at you every Thursday night, 6 p.m., Channel 19, Friday mornings at 2 a.m., 10 a.m. Set that TiVo, and you're going to find out what's going on here with your local government, all the way up to the state government. We cover it all here on this program, and this is the time of year that we interview candidates who are running to represent you in various offices, and I have one of them here with me today, Reid Johnson of Robbinsdale. Reid, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Thanks, Andrew.
Great to have you. Well, why don't you're running for a state representative in 45 B. Why don't you tell the audience where 45 B is, who you are, and why you're running?
Okay. 45 B is in Robbinsdale, also Crystal. This year we're in New Hope and Golden Valley. The lines have been redistricted, so I'm a little bit further south and a little bit further west. Looks like it's a new territory to cover.
All right, and why are you venturing off into this? What's motivating you to run?
Well, I'm not a career politician, Andrew. I'm just a man with a family worried about the direction we're heading. And I really believe that we need to bring more common sense back to the Capitol with a little more streamlining to make things with better oversight and accountability.
Well, common sense and St. Paul, those words go together? I don't know if those words go together.
Not normally.
Okay. Well, you might want to, just before we get into it here, if you're not sure if you've been redistricted, some cities have added precincts and things like that. You can go to the Secretary of State's website, click in your zip code, and that'll show you, because your polling place might have changed, and they'll tell you where to vote and what House and Senate district you're in. Well, let me jump into the issues right away. You know, the last time we talked a lot about, we had the unallotment a couple years ago, the court decision saying Governor Pawlenty couldn't do that. Then we had the election where the House and Senate switched and the governor switched. Then we had the government shutdown. We had Viking Stadium. We've got things like voter ID on the ballot. I mean, what do you, just as a citizen, as Reid Johnson the citizen, what do you make of these last 3 or 4 years in the legislature? Well,
I do agree it's still not where we need to make it. I mean, we've made progress. The Republicans have taken over both the House and the Senate, but Dayton obviously has the governorship, and he's done a lot of vetoing of a lot of the policies the Republicans have tried to put forth. So they've made some strides, but a lot of things that he has done has kind of been stopped with the veto of Dayton. So some of those things we really need to work on, either to get 2/3 majority or hopefully switch Dayton's mind. I mean, there's a number of things that were vetoed, including reducing taxes for the small businesses, about repaying the K-12.
Yeah, the shift.
The shift. Yeah. He actually vetoed that, believe it or not. So, I mean, I don't know. A lot of this common sense we're talking about is not sitting at the governorship somehow.
So just think, the governor, we borrowed money from the schools, and it's the governor who doesn't want to pay it back.
Yes.
Huh. Interesting. Well, you know, the top issue on a lot of people's minds, and I know you've been doing door knocking and stuff already, there's got to be jobs. I mean, people concerned about, I know Minnesota's unemployment is a little less to the rest of the country. I also know how deceiving those numbers can be.
Yes.
Is jobs the top issue for you, and what are you hearing from people when you're going door to door?
Yeah, jobs are very important. I know one of the areas in jobs, though, is also the stagnant amount of growth in the jobs, or your salary, actually, or what you're making, hourly wages. I mean, inflation, everything is going up, yet our salaries and benefits are either going same or down. I know my wife, for example, they lost some of her benefits and reduced their vacation time so as well. So some of that stuff is happening too frequently in the communities. And so not only do you not have a lot of people don't have jobs or losing their homes, but if you do have a job, you can't even keep up with inflation. And that becomes a problem. So I'm hearing that at the door. I'm hearing even the common sense. When I bring that up, they just believe that at the Capitol, there is not a lot of common sense right now. And so they really want a common sense brought back to the Capitol, in which you're going to get more streamlined government that has better oversight of all the different agencies they do, and more accountability, which has not taken place for years and years and years. I know we've made some progress the last 2 years with the Republicans taking control of both houses, but that is not enough still. I mean, we clearly need to increase that. We need to work on, I'm hearing door-to-door on even entitlement programs. There's just way too many entitlement programs or agencies that duplicate themselves. So if we have one agency doing this and we have another one doing the exact same thing, or maybe a third or fourth, there's a number of them at the Capitol right now. There are 2 or 3 or 4 different agencies basically handling the same responsibility. Even in basically in the healthcare area, we have over 660,000 people we're assisting with healthcare, yet we have 4 different agencies handling that. We need to streamline that down to 1. So kind of get back to what you were asked, though, in door knocking. I mean, those are some of the topics. They're getting more engaged now. I've had some quite lengthy conversations doing door knocking, or even when they're really tied up, they'll actually ask me to come back. And a number of them, 3 of them within the last half hour of my door knocking yesterday, they said that. And so that was encouraging that people are getting more aware of the positions or wanting to talk about it or give their input. That's a good sign. I want knowledgeable voters voting. I'd much rather lose with the knowledgeable voters out there than lose with non-knowledgeable ones that I lost because they didn't know the issues or what to stand for. So I think my positions are strong and conservative, and I'm hoping my positions will earn your vote and vote for me in November.
All right, cool. Well, getting on the jobs topic, and one of the things, just to continue that, one of the things that worries me is I drive out to western Minnesota and I hear on the radio, hey, come to South Dakota, come to Iowa, come somewhere else. We don't have all the taxes and regulation stuff you guys got in the land of 10,000 lakes. I mean, what do you think are the biggest, if I were to give you 3 or 4 things you could get rid of that the state does to have job growth, get them out of the way, what do you think we need to hit first to grow those jobs and keep them here?
One of the things is the taxes, the corporate tax rate. We have one of the highest corporate tax rate in the country.
Yeah, we're close to California now.
Yes, we're trying to get to California apparently. And so we have that on top of that. I mean, there's other areas, even in businesses, the property tax. I know the Republicans tried to eliminate that, but that was vetoed again by, of course, our nice liberal friend at the governorship, Dayton. But in the other areas would be, I really think we need to focus on innovative areas and areas that are high demand, that we spend more money in those areas. Increase the ability to have investors want to be here because it's a friendly environment, so they can put their money in those companies that have great growth potential, so we can create jobs instead of eliminating that money because of all the red tape and taxes. I mean, a perfect example, it hasn't gone through as far as I know, but a few years ago in the city of Minneapolis, they tried, believe it or not, they tried to put forth a new law in which required if you were going to paint anywhere in the downtown area as a contractor or a painter, professional painter, you would have to pull a permit. So 2 things are happening. You're wasting time running down to pull the permit and pay money. So now
So the permit's not free?
No, you got to pay for a permit to paint someone's house. So, I mean, what are you pulling a permit for? You're just putting paint on the wall. But those people that do that are losing the ability to work downtown because a lot of the people who are going to do it, they're either going to say, well, you have to charge higher rates. Yeah. And then, well, I'm not even going to bother doing that. Or you got to make less money. So now you're still doing the work. But again, as a business, do you want to do business in Minneapolis? Because you got to pay your codes to get pull a permit. And also on top of that, you got to waste your time to go down and pull the permit. Wasting time and gas. Hello, to talk about fuel efficiency. We're talking about, the left wants to talk about gas or spending on the environment and all this stuff. Okay, you're forcing us to drive more.
Well, they want you to take Metro Transit down there.
Yeah, that'll work really well.